We're waiting.
Take your seat.
Stay toxic, my friends.
Evening! Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever, however you all are. Welcome to Toxic Tuesday, the first show back in the longest break we've ever taken in the history of ever. We are used to tradition. We are used to taking, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off to the start, but this was a month. I think some of the panels even became straight during that time. Well, we're about to fuck every little bit of that up all over again. So we ain't gonna straighten any of them out. But guys, I miss this show. I miss you. We had a few tier lists. We had a member stream. So we did some stuff during that time. And sometime I just was dad to my children. Let me bring Chuck Norris and Mad Mardigan down. But let's acknowledge those faces and our so ever exquisite chat. Guys, look all these wonderful faces. D-Bud Martin, Darth Viewer, JT Kirk, Courtney. How's it going, Courtney? Nice to see you. Price of Reason. Price. Good to see you, sir. I got to get up in your late show one of these days. I got to be in touch with that. Davina Duckworth. Hello, hello. Yeah, let's see. Hey, Jonathan Conroy. JT Kirk showing up. He's been a member for over 2 years, 25 months to be exact, saying, I waited over a month for the chance to show everyone my member, and it was worth it. Dude, that's so worth it. I'm so glad you waited a whole month to whip it out for everyone here to see. All 13 of you here saying, you know what, we're going to see JT Kirk's 25-month-long member. I love to see it. Yeah, all channel members who are hanging out in the chat, please whip your members out. What's up, Captain Have Fun? Say what's up. And, Jonathan Conroy, member for 15 months. How time flies. Thank you, sir. What's going on? Option Trader 1776. Great to see you here. All right, 15 of you here in the chat. The 70s doing as well. Member for 35 months. Guys, so, and of course, Mark, you to see my 2 pounds. Member for 35 months as well. Oh, you guys are great. Thank you. So, okay, really quickly, before I bring the panelists in, because it's probably the most on time we've been for a Toxic Tuesday in a while. So, I will have the Dolph Lundgren photo up as soon as I can. The process with the digital copy has been hell, because I got the photo. It turned out great. I got a physical copy, and I want that physical copy. I want my digital copy, and I was waiting, and then I was given like this link, this private link to go into from the convention saying, go to this link. Type in this code, and go through the celebrities, pick your celebrity, and you'll unlock the photos that celebrity took. All the celebrities were there, minus Dolph Lundgren. So I wrote him back, yo, just so you know, and I proved it. I took a screenshot, just so you know, this list does not include Dolph Lundgren. So if we could get this corrected so we can include him, that'd be great, so I can finally do that. But I'm telling you, once the photo's out there, it's great. It's kick ass. I'm serious. It turned out to be a great photo with the Lundgren. Now the next goal is to do the cameo. We'll cross that bridge though when we get there. Right now, that's far away. We'll maybe within the next year, but for now, I just want to just really get this photo out there because y'all deserve to see it. It's a great photo. It really is. Now, what's up, the dead man? Oh, Courtney, I was actually bald, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like, I used razors on my head, and I was completely clean shaven over about almost 2 months ago. Now I have a whole head of hair. So that's all that is. Hey, what's up, Garfield's Bizarre Adventures? Nice to see you here. No, he's a nice guy, big man too, really cool. And then, of course, Garfield, been member for 3 months, says, hail! We got already 20 of you here in the chat. I love to see this. I missed you guys. I really did miss you guys. This panel did. But let's bring in our dudes here. Like, we got Mark D with C. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing most excellent. Yeah, it's awesome to be back. And hail to everyone. I thank you for everyone remembering who we are, I guess, right? So,
yeah, right?
Great to see you all. Yeah.
People show up. Was it? I was like, is anyone gonna watch this tonight?
Well, I hope so. But well, that's what happens too. They say on YouTube, like, yeah, always be, constant, do the same show every week. So it was a long time off, but I had some fun playing poker. So thank you for that.
I money.
Well, like 1 week I lost all my money. Then like last week I like took everyone's money, and people are getting pissed at me. But we don't play for that much money. It's just for fun, and so we don't have, we can get away from our wives for the night. Sorry, dear. She's yeah, well, you got to do guy things once in a while, right?
Yeah, but I with the boys.
I think I won like 5 or 6 hands in a row. Like the cards were just rolling for me. I had a straight flush. I was like, four of a kind a couple times, and like I was like, geez, I'm like I'm too nice of a guy, so I couldn't gloat too much. But yeah, the other weeks I lost all my money too, so it was it is what it is. But no, it's great to have the gang back together and get our Anginas out here and our Anginas.
Gina,
Orangina.
Orangina.
Get your pronunciation right here. See what happens when you're out of practice. Yeah,
Toxic Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, come on, get with it, Mark.
Say things nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, we miss doing that, right? Yeah,
there we go. Now the tensions are rising.
Right.
Red Shirt went somewhere, and
he'll be back, I'm sure, right?
In Illinois on Friday and Saturday. We went out for pizza at this place called Barnaby's in Niles, and it was great. It was absolutely awesome. And then, of course, we hung a little bit at the con. We got the William Shatner panel, and then he got the Mel Gibson panel. And, of course, got my photo at the Dolph, which I can't wait to have out soon. But hopefully Red Shirt comes back soon.
That's great. You guys got to meet in person. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. We've hung out in person before. It was just awesome to do it again. But until Red Shirt slides in here, we have that 70s rock fan. Sir, how are you doing?
He's a good substitute. We can't hear him. He's boomering like I usually do. You're on mute, Brian.
Yeah, he did that on
I'm a substitute for another guy. I look pretty tall, but my heels are high. The simple things in life are all complicated. Anyway, it's the Who.
Oh yeah, I've heard that song before. Yeah.
So it's great that Toxic Tuesday's back because I can stop looking at all those pictures of scantily clad women now and get back to being gay. Thank God for that.
Well, we came here to not straighten you out. I mean, that's the whole point of Toxic Tuesday. It's to not.
So I have to ask. Did you mention Dolph our obsession with the clip of his member? Of his having the biggest dick.
We had to slide. We all had to slide right through him taking your photo.
It's one of the.
That time, I heard you coming.
So no chance to discuss dick size.
Now I did say I love Showdown Little Tokyo, and he said thanks, and he gave me the knocks. So
nice. He gave you just the tip, though, just the tip.
But I got it out of him. But he had a smile on his face, and yeah.
Did you have a plinth with you? You should have had a plinth with you. I should have got the conversation.
Guys,
people are popping back.
We got dudes in the back. Let's whip them out.
I'm sure you have.
The fourth man before the final man. It's the Red Shirt, who I just saw a few days ago.
Yes.
See, I've met Red Shirt in person, and he is even more handsome in person than he appears online. It's true.
That's
more handsome than a sheep.
Sheep are not handsome. They're not meant to be handsome. They're meant to be fluffy.
So, Red Shirt, sir, how you feeling?
Yeah. I'm feeling good. Feeling good. Yeah, I tried to update to my latest avatar. That's what got me screwed up. Right at the very end there, as you were starting to bring guys in, I'm frantically trying to edit an avatar. Like, we'll go with the regular one. That's why I came back in. I just shut everything back down. I'll get the next one. I'll get the new one for next week.
Shut her down.
Okay. Cool. Well, hey, good to have you here, sir. Great to see you a few days later. And before we get the slide up, we got one more dude that's in the back.
Another dude.
Rip him right into the front. Hi, Tom.
Oh,
he's gonna do a song.
This is for Mark.
It's the sex bomb.
This is for me. Oh wow.
Got oranginas in her face too as he sings.
On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with Mark D with a C. We both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness. The boredom overtook us, and that sumbitch took all my money. He said, son, I made my life out of reading people's faces, making things on 3D printers, and putting stars in your eyes. I don't know, fuck it. I'm just making this shit up as I go, because he's the gambler. I don't know.
Kenny Rogers.
He's making all the money at the gambling table out here. So.
You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Well, I'm 3D printing absolute Batman right now, but I should get someone should do Bat Tom for us so I could 3D print that.
There's not enough material to be able to print 3D print
Bat
Bat Tom. He's too big.
Oh, I should have Grok create a Bat Tom.
Like he
Send him
said.
and make a
There
3D
goes
Bat Tom. That'd be awesome.
Mark.
Every gambler knows.
Yep.
Secret to surviving. Sorry, I'm done.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Something kick ass, I hope.
Something
Yeah.
kick-ass indeed. I need Mark to whip it out.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait. I'm stuck on the teacher scene here. Let me go back.
Oh, you don't say.
Zipper problems.
Of course he is.
Yeah, what happened there?
What kind of street shit is that,
Tom-
man?
There it is. Australia. I'll be damned. Look at this country. You are gay.
All right, let me share my screen here.
You got big old orangina in your face, and you're still not getting it up.
I know. God, yeah, I didn't get the tip. You know, I'm out of practice now.
No, you didn't get the tip, even if it was just.
There we go. All right, there we go.
Now we're going places.
Now we can roll. Yeah.
Yeah. I see Matthew
Now we can roll,
Barzil,
yeah.
Full Assassin. What's up, dudes? Great to see you both here. Oh, man. It's so crazy. I think this already came out 16 years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Holy
feel
shit.
that way to
Good
me.
God,
Really?
yeah.
Oh my god.
It really doesn't. I remember when this is new as a comic book. I remember when this became a movie. I was like, oh, wow, that really got fast tracked. And it was just like, it was kind of wild to see it because, you would have some properties that would, that were not Marvel or DC having a movie, let alone a successful movie at that. So that's the thing, to be a profitable movie. And I remember thinking, oh, wow. And I remember this comic was, definitely making some waves of conversation, like when it was just a series, a limited miniseries. And to see it become the movie, I was like, oh, wow, okay, that should be cool. I'm
For a
curious to
minute
see how
that
it's
was
going to be
Lions
like.
gay.
Lions, yeah. What's up, Nick the Greek? Curly and Rogue, great to see you gentlemen here. Welcome all back to Toxic Tuesday.
So this was an independent comic then?
Well,
what
yes,
was it?
Mark Millar did put
Millar.
out through an imprint via Marvel because this is before he went fully independent.
Yeah.
But he was doing an imprint, and this was his creator-owned work. But because he was still through an imprint at Marvel, he could still say their names, not as if they existed, but if they're fictional characters in his story per se. And it was definitely some of the stories that started really speed rushing him towards going all in on creator-owned work before he was just completely done with Marvel for good. Because obviously he had done Wanted at this point, he had done Kick-Ass, but this was right before he was starting doing way more stories, whether it's Jupiter's Legacy, The Secret Service, Hawk, Starlight, Space Bandits, Empress. I mean, Reborn. Obviously, the guy's got a whole comic book universe of independent stories. The Millar world, of course. So it was cool that this was one of the ones that got off the ground because it's definitely one of the ones that makes the most sense to get off the ground first. Go ahead, Tom.
In
Like
the movie, wasn't the movie kind of like simultaneously created along with the comics? That's why there's so many differences.
I don't know how simultaneously, but I do know that there was some things that were super duper faithful, like dialogue included, and there are some things where they definitely made some changes. Like,
well, the end
one of
is
them,
definitely different.
I'm gonna wait on some of the specifics on some of them later because they're more relevant for the conversation later.
Overall,
but yeah.
Some Big Daddy stuff's different, isn't it?
I'm gonna say it's been years and years, and I barely remember reading the first one. But the whole idea of what I got out of it was the tone was a little bit different too. Like the movie has a little bit more lighthearted tone to it compared to the comic is very dark. Yes. It's probably more in line with the tone of Super than it is with this.
This opening is so awesome.
Literally in the actual pages, even word for word verbatim. This was absolutely done. The guy doing the wing bell, people thought he was going to fly, and he just crashes right in. So that was directly lifted from the pages, which is cool to see.
Oh yeah, and I'm not saying it's not, but my point is like there just seemed to be like more of a mean-spirited streak through the comic book that's not present in the film so much, if I'm not mistaken.
That
from my
scene
memory.
right, yeah, that scene right there backs up what you're saying, because that is like, wait a minute. That's when I first watched this, and this film went completely on my radar, so I had no expectations coming in, and this is one of the very first things I see, and I'm going, this is going to be what, black humor? This is
It does kind of dance around that line often, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like the tone of the
Sorry, if you go back and read the first series, this is clearly based off because there's several like volumes of the series. They're looking back on it. It's something I didn't know then because of how dark the book was and how much all this craziness threw me off guard. Looking back, I've read it a lot in retrospect, and I can attest that now today reading it, there is more humor in it now that I see it in a retrospective light. It wasn't as noticeable because of how crazy and bombastic all.
Well, it's because it has that dark tinge to it, and I think that's where Red Shirt was going. Is like because right off the bat, you're hit with this very dark joke, right? Mm-hmm. Like this is extreme. Like this is. I mean, you're either gonna laugh or you're gonna be appalled by this, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's horrible.
Yeah, two choices.
It's basically what happens when Spider-Man has no power and sort of
no clue.
Yeah,
the house
like responsibility.
The houses look like Queens actually too. It looks like it's ripped right out of Spider-Man comic. And they mentioned Ditko in this. Yeah. So it's like this is Spider-Man without powers.
Oh, totally. There's a lot of Spider-Man, a teenage kid. And it's funny because they kind of knock on the trope earlier on about, I don't have some great like deep origin story, avenge me type of story. I'm just a kid who fills up space. I just exist. And you're like,
his mom had a
wow.
stroke. Yeah,
so we're just leaning right into just saying, I don't have all those things. I don't have that cool story that gives me the credence to become a superhero. But he does give a question that I always did think about when I was in middle school and high school is how come no one's tried it? And that it is funny that he showed you what happens when a kid actually does try it, doing that. Yes, in this in this corner of a universe story, human beings like this don't exist yet, but it's clear that they read about them.
Yeah, you touched on something, Nick. That was the first quote that I got that references other comics, and it's paraphrasing. It's an ironic paraphrase of Peter Parker. When Dave Lazowski says, "With no power comes no responsibility." But here's the hook for me. Here was the hook that creates the third act, because he says, "Except that wasn't true." You could be responsible without any power. And he finds that out.
Right. I think someone wanted me to go back.
That's what a athlete is then.
We had a teacher like that. It was pretty well endowed, and she wore like a really tight sweater. Our English teacher, Miss Ducci.
She knew
and
what she was doing.
My buddy Dave P, and he's going to like other friends, and like she leaned over, and he's going like this, like look at her boobs, and she turned around. She's like,
Dave, she knew what
David
she was
P.
doing.
Go to the office right now. Yeah, she knew what she's doing. Yeah. And it turned out years later she was having an affair with the principal. They were it was a Catholic school, but there were two ladies. There were two ladies, and they were having an affair.
That makes sense.
Stop that!
Did anybody get film of that?
Go back.
Anybody film
Look at that with the vagina.
I said it looks like a duck. I was going to say that, but Mark.
That's just perfect.
Someone's take the comment down. We should screenshot that.
All right, hold on. Let me before all right now it's just kind because Matthew Marzil hits on a great point here about how young Aaron Taylor Johnson was. This is before he's a lot more jacked too. Like
he just played John Lennon.
He started jacking. Yeah,
he just played John Lennon.
He started jacking, and next thing you know, his arms are huge.
Oh.
The trick to getting huge arms is just jack off all day long.
But you got to make sure you use both arms equally, Tom. You have to use both arms equally.
My right arm is way too strong. I got to work on my left.
You use your strong
that's why
hand.
I've been masturbating twice as much as usual. so I
You
can
gotta use your
make
strong
up the
hand.
difference. Yeah, yeah.
So you make
Woo!
up the difference.
Yeah.
Don't skip left arm day.
Never.
I think
You
a lot of
got
See, I gotta do 16 reps those
with
days.
lefties sometimes. Sometimes you gotta have a fair on righty with lefties.
Well, you know, and then there's the, you know, the stranger. You can do that too.
This man can finger Al
sometimes
Capone.
I wonder.
In the ass?
Nobody's putting their
Hello.
fingers in anybody's ass. Not as long as I have anything to say about.
I just do. When
Ooh.
Mark made that a clip, I'm like, this clip is gonna be amazing from now until forever. This man.
Oh my
said he
God, the
could-
old internet.
Yeah, I'll go
Mad
back to
made
that
his
one, yeah.
appearance, sir. Mad made.
Yeah, we
Internet
did have a mad
jacket.
appearance. Yeah.
I see that.
What is it?
Dreams
National
of
Geographic.
Africa.
Papyra fucking font and shit.
National Geographic.
What's sad is that how representative that is of how many websites we had. Like people forget. Like I
Yeah.
forgot how what websites were. Like kids probably don't even know what a website is now.
Yeah,
You probably
yeah,
say
it's
that
all
to a kid.
corporate.
They're like, "What the fuck is a website?" You
Yeah,
know those
yeah.
things that you click on and you go to from Instagram and Facebook and.
Bet they've never heard of Netscape.
X. Oh fuck no!
Netscape.
Google to them is just a search engine. They don't understand what a you know like any of this.
LimeWire is.
Hell, Tom,
Yeah.
Tom, my email is at yahoo.com. I've been asked
I
to
have a
spell
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
I still have a Yahoo as well.
I have a Hotmail one yet too.
I still have both of those. Yeah, my
Hotmail.
AOL I lost my AOL though. I don't have my AOL.
I say, didn't they shut down like a year or two ago or something like that?
No,
Or-
they're still they shut down the dial-up. There were still
Oh.
people paying for
Has
dial-up
this
actually.
happened to you guys
Oh,
right
Jesus.
here where she says, "Oh, hey, gorgeous," and guy thought he was being
Every
talked to,
day.
He looks and there's a girl. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
every time he
oh,
thinks his
fuck.
wife is telling him he loves him, it's actually the dog.
Yeah, hell, yeah, that's happened to me since I got married.
Yeah, every day. You think it's all about lovey-dovey shit. That's when they stop being all lovey-dovey. It's like, no, I got this motherfucker now. I don't need to keep this shit up.
Yeah, no, I know she's talking to me when it's, hey, take out the garbage.
Yeah, it's like, can we get some sweet loving honey? It's like, I don't know. Can I get the garbage taken out today?
Can I just sleep late tonight?
It'd be nice if we,
Right.
Yeah.
we could get some dishes done around here.
Is it
D-Bud
AOL?
still has AOL?
Is it that's supposed to be shut down soon? I thought AOL was supposed to be shutting
Well,
down.
I think I thought maybe
The
I heard
dial-up.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe I just misunderstood what the dial-up thing.
Yeah, because I knew someone at work was still paying for dial-up. I'm like, you have high. It's like, well, they offer me all these packages, and I'm like, like you're wasting like $25 a month. I mean, you know, it's like, why are you paying for? And I bet you like.
No, go ahead, mate.
No, I was just saying, I bet you like still until they shut it off, people were still paying. Like my grandmother was paying for like back in the day, you had to pay for your telephone and rent your phone, and my grandmother was paying for like a basement phone for like 40 years. So my mom, you're taking advantage of a senior citizen. I want a refund on this phone. You had to actually rent your phone from Ma Bell.
You used to, yeah.
That's right. I was just going to say, D-Bud Martin still gets all his computer programs off a CD that he gets every month.
Do you remember how the AOL's new version would be 5.0, 6.0, 7.0?
Yeah.
They all be so faster.
They
than ever. They're all
manufactured
worse
more
than ever.
CDs than anybody else in the world ever.
Right?
They did. Like there was a time, I'm trying to remember the exact thing it was, but like when we had the maximum number of manufacturing plants, like one out of every 5 discs, I think it was an AOL disc that was coming out. Like that's how many they were printing. And that's include like all the other artists that were, recording artists and all that other stuff that was going on. 1 out of 5 discs in every plant was an AOL disc.
Wow.
Wow, I believe it.
Wow.
Mark,
Just
did
on
you
the
ever-
average of how many they were pumped out. Yeah.
Did you ever have a comic shop that was a coffee shop as well? When I remember seeing this was in my mind, 2010. This was the coolest thing because no such thing exists in Chicago.
That
wish
would be
this
awesome.
existed. A coffee shop.
We
as
do
well.
have a record/bookstore in town that's a wine shop too, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, well, that
It's a
like
decent idea. I mean, if I'm gay and I like wine,
I don't see the like if I'm gonna do anything, I think it'd be smart to open a fucking weed shop in a record store, man.
that could make
like-
sense. I mean,
And you
put on
grade the
Master
albums by how
Reality.
much weed has been broken up on them.
Yeah,
Like, see,
put
this
on
is a
Master
grade
Re-
6. This has had 6 pounds of weed broken up on it, as opposed to this Fleetwood Mac Rumors, which has only had 3 pounds.
Like, I don't know if it's gay unless you like make eye contact while there's the blowjob. Blowjob's not that gay.
Just
Come
because
on,
I wasn't
no,
making a gay
all
joke for the first time in 10
we
minutes,
all-
motherfucker had to interrupt me with a gay joke.
We
You
all know
fucking kidding me?
triple albums are the best for that kind of thing, especially
Oh,
progressive rock
absolutely.
ones.
Well, yeah, because
Oh,
then you
yeah,
got
the
the
fold-out.
folds. Exactly. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
They're making fun of Paris Hilton here. I missed the Paris
Oh,
Hilton.
dude, I
Okay, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Gloss or no gloss, man?
Yeah.
Yes, no.
If
Does
you
anyone
don't do the
remember who
no
Paris
gloss,
Hilton
man,
is?
it gets stuck on it.
Dude, when they made fun of Paris Hilton, I was like, oh, I forgot all about this joke in the movie.
And that was who was the show? Who was on?
McLovin.
It was Paris Hilton. Who was she do the show with? It was Lionel Richie's.
Oh, Lionel Richie's daughter.
Daughter. What was her name? What's her name? I'm forgetting.
Shit.
No, I
Nicole.
forget. Nicole. Yeah, that show was pretty popular for a while, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And look, Spider-Man was there. No, I love this.
Yeah.
Like we had Borders bookshops. They had a coffee shop, and you could buy
Yeah.
comics
most
there,
of
but it
those
wasn't
kinda
the
things,
same.
yeah.
But it wasn't like
worked at
this
a Borders.
dedicated comic show. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
you still
worked
have
cool.
like whatchamacallit that's still all uppity, snooty fucking coffee people in there all the time too. Barnes and
Yeah, they're all
Noble
from-
and
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
worked
they're all-
at Borders
they're all from
while
Seattle,
this movie
Tom.
is out.
I know. That's why we need to combat them with the weed/record stores that sell
Superbad
pizza
was
slices for Nick.
07.
Slices of
we-
pie.
Superbad-
We
well,
bring
this
in
movie
pizza slices.
is clearly they're chasing a lot of the successful names or rising names at the time. Aaron Taylor Johnson, McLovin, and obviously Nicolas Cage was taking projects left and right. Chloe Grace, obviously, yeah. It was clearly established.
She
at
is
the
probably
time.
the best find of this movie, right? Like, I
Oh,
mean, I
yeah.
don't know if she did anything much before this, but like this was her. Like, I wish she had done a lot more after this. I mean, she's still in a few things here and there. I see her pop up from time to time, but I was like, she was an untapped resource as far as I was concerned because she was amazing in this role.
Oh, she was. I remember when I had Mark on last October, talking about just
Millar.
whatever.
Not me.
It's Millar. But
No, it's Millar. It's not Millar.
it's
Oh,
actually
okay.
Millar. He just rolls with it and lets people fuck it up.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
he
I always
says
thought it was
it's
Millar. What do I know?
it's Millar. But I asked him when Hit Girl took off the way she did you expect that? And he said he fully expected it. He said I was counting on it.
Well,
when
and her
when it
timing was
happened.
right too because it was
The timing was perfect.
pre woke and shit to where if Hit Girl comes out 2015, 16, she's not the same character. Right? We
No.
all know what she is
Yeah.
now, and she's just a boss bitch. But in this, the beauty of this story is that Mark understood, and whoever else worked with him, that understood that this character has to be put in position where we understand how she is so good, right?
Yep.
Just because she's a 10, 11, 12-year-old girl or whatever she is, we have to believe that she was raised from the time she was a baby to do this.
And that's
Yeah.
quite what happened.
Which is why she's not a Mary Sue in this movie.
No.
Exactly. Boom. Because like she earns every moment. She is actually the star. She is the one who kicks ass. She is the one who's smarter than everybody else in the room. And she's earned it, right? We get it from the struggle that we see with her dad and this whole story. And
She came
Yeah.
from a place of being uninformed too. You see how she was at first, not being aware of how to what was it like to get shot? What was it like to use a weapon? It was all forged to her at some point too.
And the humor of it is also comes, and that's why I like the second story. And I don't know how much of the comic is in there, but where she's trying to just be a normal girl, right? And that's just a foreign thought to her compared to what she's been raised, which would be obviously, the opposite of a normal childhood. And, you could sit here and have the debate all day long on Big Daddy and if he was abusive in the sense of that taking this child and basically creating a superhero out of her is wrong. I mean, like, he's the Joe Jackson of superheroes, I guess. Like, I mean, really, if you think about it, I mean, yes, it's a different approach, don't get me wrong, but I mean, he shot the kid. I mean, come on. Here we go.
Yeah.
It was a
No, this is
well-meaning dad taking it to the extreme lesson is what he was. He was really well-meaning, and yeah, it's crazy. Everything about this is crazy, and that's why I love Mark did all these things that couldn't happen in real life, and he made you, even though it's a very grounded story. That's the irony; it's very grounded, but he did all these things that wouldn't happen in a normally grounded world, and you're like, wow, that's absolutely fucked up. And like, just look at the image out of context. It looks bad out of context.
Well, it's because he's fucking insane. Like,
Well,
let's be real.
how much better than the Green Lantern scene? If you guys have seen that first episode,
honestly, you know, it's funny you mentioned that because it's like that's the first thing I thought about when I saw that, and I didn't have the same reaction everybody else did. I guess maybe I don't know.
I don't
want to diverge too much.
I didn't watch it, but I don't like that they kill Hal Jordan. I don't even care if it's a Manhunter duplicate. To me, that's just stupid.
I think it's going to end up being a Parallax storyline. But anyhow, that being said, like I have very little like knowledge of or history with the Green Lantern, so take that into consideration. I didn't hate the show as much as a lot of other people did, but
I liked it, but not as a Green Lantern show. As a Green Lantern show,
see, that's a problem. That's a problem because you're calling it your lead Green Lantern.
They haven't really done anything Green Lantern-y yet, though. Either like that's the other thing. Like, there's only been like 2 or 3 moments where anything Green Lantern has come up per se. So I mean, right now they're more or less just setting up the plot at this point. Because like that's what my biggest gripe was. Is the whole episode is one of those. Is basically the first 5 minutes of any drama show where they kind of pull you in by showing you what happens 45 minutes into the episode just before the end, you know?
Yep.
And then you're like, wait a minute. But they did this for the whole season, right? Like, so
Tom King.
Yeah, so not to get ahead of like without the context set up, like regardless, it's yes, he is technically that as far as we can tell, shot and killed or whatever. But if it is even him, that's the big question. And obviously this whole season, the whole story is going to be leading up to what led to that, right? Like, so they're at least doing what I said, the final season of. Yes, you can tell that
sounds like Tom King comics.
Yes.
It sounds like Tom King comics I have read before. That makes it even worse to not want to.
Because the whole episode like jumps around from when he's, you know, when what's his face, the other Green Lantern, the black guy, what's his name, John Stewart. From when he's a kid, and that's where we were talking about. Because when he's a kid, his dad, and that's where we were debating it on the morning show. I'm like, because Paul was like, I don't understand why all the kids are like turning the TV off and they're acting this way, and then all of a sudden he goes out with, you know, John, and they do their little thing, and I'm like, well, that's because I think each kid has their own individual thing that the dad is setting them up for, and John's being specifically set up to be a Green Lantern, right? Like, so it's kind of the same kind of thing with this. Like, it's from the moment, you know, he was able to probably crawl, his dad had this mission for him, right? So it's kind of the same thing with Hit Girl here, but it's just done in a different way. And I didn't have
done much better and Kick Ass, I thought.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's just because of the way it's handled. Because when we look at, we can laugh at it because of the way that Nicolas Cage acts. Right, he acts like the perfect, gee golly shucks, fucking, you know, Flanders type guy, like literally dressed like Flanders, you know, from The Simpsons. And he acts like that through the entire film, but really underneath it all, like I said, this guy is fucking psychotic. He's insane. He should be behind bars. He's even worse than some of the people he's going after in most cases, right? Like nobody ever really sits back and points it out. And this is straight up child abuse is what he's doing here. Like, I mean, he fucking shoots the kid. I know but that's why we step back and we can laugh at it because he does the Mr. Rogers Flanders thing, right? Like,
right.
Okay, so there is
if he was Joe Jackson, it'd be a different story. That's why I think that's my whole point of getting around to why I think people reacting the way they are to the.
I don't blame them. It's Tom King. It's Tom King. That's all. That
totally. I understand that. So yeah,
when you throw in Tom King and everything you said, everything, it sounds like 90% of the structures of Tom King stories. He knows how to get a good setup, a good hook. And then it all goes downhill from there. Except this time the hook isn't even good.
Boy, did we jump ahead, or we just been talking?
No, we're
talking. It goes pretty fast.
Fuck lanterns.
Sorry.
This thing is similar but different in the book. So yes, he did take a stabbing. He did get his ass whooped. He did get nailed, run over by a car. Except his suit was taken, and they found him naked, and. Instead, they took off his suit in this movie. No, because obviously when they rushed him to the hospital, and they thought because they found him naked, maybe he had like gotten raped or some shit. And that's where the rumor came from that he must be gay. Instead, they start off a different thing.
Yeah.
So it's
well,
it's
that was my
similar but different.
understanding. Was like, okay, so and this goes back to like I think I listened to either the commentary or one of the making ofs or whatever. Like the director was talking about how basically like
Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn was talking about how basically like the first comic or two had come out in the series when they had started working on this. So like from that moment on, that's when things kind of deviate. Although they're similar, there's differences.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Tom. They made them both, side by side. So I guess
it was like a 2001 thing. So yeah, for those who don't know, the writer of 2001 wrote the book around at the same time that Kubrick was making his movie. Hence, that's why the book and the movie are completely different animals, but they have the same idea and concepts. It's kind of the same thing there.
They were
not as much differences, but
they were sending script updates to Arthur C. Clarke to put into the book every week, and he just couldn't keep up.
Right. Yeah, and it was like, okay, yeah. So like I'm saying, like they're basically both the same ideas, but just differently way they were laid out. And it feels the same way with this, because you're right. Like the movie starts out and it's like verbatim the first comic or so up to a point, and then it starts to kind of it starts to deviate. And that's what I was saying is like Matthew Vaughn didn't have anything to work from other than like, you know, Mark's notes or Mark's notes or whatever.
Oh,
but
question.
There's still stuff later on that's still similar to like where the introduction of Hit Girl, the kidnapping of
because I'm sure Mark had all this stuff written out for him.
Yeah. So,
but like I said, it's just kind of interesting to see the difference of interpretations here.
Yes. Vaughn mortgaged his house to help cover costs for what he later called scary. The budget line. Yeah, it was a low budget movie. That was intentional by Mark and Matthew Vaughn to make this a movie that
it's funny we're talking about $20-30 million is small budget.
Yeah.
The first
Go ahead, Richard.
Was I the only one? I want to ask this. I'm gonna interrupt because everybody's interrupting me.
Go ahead.
Am I the only one who's seeing the McCready's gun room was reminded of Tremors and the Gummers rec room?
Oh,
with all the guns hanging on the wall.
It.
Yeah, it's like, you know, this guy doesn't have a safe. He has a room. Thank you.
No, you're good, man. Parrot Head, what's up?
I've been trying to say that for 3 minutes.
I apologize. That's on me. I'm usually better.
We got to get our groove back. Back.
Yes.
I'm rusty.
We're out of practice, man.
We're rusty. Yeah, damn it.
Great.
Come on.
But Parrot Head for $2 says great stream, you fig. Thank you. I appreciate being called that, especially if I get paid for it. Appreciate it, dude. We are having a fun time. Yeah, now the funny part now, I don't know if I would call it a deviation. It's just more of like a natural happening. But this movie, I've heard a lot of people who had seen it who never read the comic thought it was a very brutal movie. I'm like, bro, if you thought it was brutal, you should read the
book.
Comic.
That's what I was getting
at. More brutal.
Because that's what I mean is like Mark's comic is a lot more mean spirited from my memory than the movie is.
It is. But it is more mean spirited.
Because I saw the movie before I read the book, and I was like, oh, I didn't really care for the book as much. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I like the book, but it's like this to me was a better interpretation of it, in my opinion.
That's funny you mention that because apparently, I don't know if this is true, but apparently Mark prefers this version over his own comic. Now, I once again I mentioned earlier, but I did notice the humor more now in later life. It's just because I was so immersed by how crazy and dark that the story was that I didn't notice how much humor there actually was there. But if you go back and give it a read now, you'll realize, oh, hold up, there was actually a good amount of humor in it. But it definitely at the time was not so noticeable because we were not used to this Spider-Man archetype character being in a situation like this. It was not so common. Now, obviously, these type of stories are way beyond commonplace. But at the time, it was still a fresh thing. But
no, it's just amazing how. And actually, that becomes his in, right? That becomes his into getting lucky, right? But which I love too. It's perfect for Toxic Tuesday. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's like a
development of
John
this.
Hughes movie mixed in with a fucking superhero movie or something. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the girl wants to hang out with him because he's gay, right? I always wanted a gay friend like you, right? It's so hysterical. But
it sounds like a John Hughes movie that he never made. Like
yeah,
John Cusack has a problem. He's in love with Cindy, but Cindy thinks he's gay. I'm not gay, but go with it. She thinks you're gay. The movie is go with it. There we go. I don't know.
Yeah, no, but it's a testament to how much he's how invisible he is, that when the only way he can be seen by the cute girl he really likes is to basically let her think he's gay, and he goes along with it.
Right.
That's commitment, man.
Well, that's what helps this movie make it work, right? Is it has so many elements, like it is a pure comedy and it's hard, at least this version of it, right? That's why I'm sorry I keep deviating back and forth between the comic and this, but they are such differences in that sense, because yes, the comic is funny, but it is more dark humor, right? Because you were right, Red Shirt. That opening sequence is right out of the comic. The first, probably 20, 30 minutes of this movie is almost directly out of the comic. Like by the end of the movie, like the movie is so much better, because like the end of the comic from my memory is like he doesn't get the girl. She sends him a picture of her blowing his friend or some shit like that.
It was a video on his cell phone of her blowing a black dude. That's what it was. And
it's just got this really mean-spirited ending to it, and it's just kind of like,
oh yeah, the ending was mean. I should have asked him. Maybe I could just reach out to him, and this is some maybe I'll have to ask maybe for a future conversation.
We should have had him on the show tonight.
Yeah, right. What inspired the change? Because to me, my theory was at the time that he wanted that Matthew Vaughn probably said, "Hey, we want to leave people happy ending the movie." Whereas because if this movie we want to do well and we want more movies, we gotta leave them wanting more. Whereas the comic, you could get away with an ending like that.
You want to know what I think?
Ongoing story.
I think it wasn't even a thing until the comic, because I think at this point the movie had already been so far along down the tracks it wasn't even part of the story. That's why I'm saying, like, I believe Vaughn was working off of his notes for the longest time and just going back and forth with him asking what you're going to do. Because to me, that a whole concept came off as a joke gone bad, right? I think Mark was meaning it as like a joke, like a dark joke, but it just didn't land, if that's my theory on it. And to Vaughn, I don't even know if it was a thing that he even told Vaughn about. I don't know.
One day we're going to get those answers. I promise.
Well, I like
that's
that it was. I like the fact that it was referential. I like the fact that it was referential. You could tell these guys were comic book fans, superhero fans. But like and they made it into a beautiful joke. You're like, well, how do I get a hold of you? And Mindy McCready goes, "Oh, you just get a hold of the mayor. He's got a signal that he shines. It's the shape of a big dick."
Yeah.
Play on Batman.
And well, you got the the acknowledgement of comic book shops that he's a big reader. You also have, like, you see, like, they'll show little panels. I'll say, meanwhile, which you see in comics, the narration, and you'll see the art on Nicolas Cage's wall. Those are all art that are art pieces that are done by the actual kick-ass artist John Romita Jr. as well. Yep. So this is clearly I guess you could say a low-key love letter to the medium of comics as well. It was the spot that they frequented.
Would you say that's okay? So would you say that's a change at the risk of contracting Tom's disease? Is that one of the differences between this and the comic? Did the comic refer to other comics as much?
Oh yeah, yes, it did refer to other comics. It absolutely did. Yeah. It absolutely did. Yes.
Okay. As make believe, as a make believe world, but yeah, it would mention them. Yeah, because that's the whole premise. Is like, wouldn't you want to be a superhero? Like who as a kid didn't wrap a towel around their neck and jump off the couch and try to fly at age 3 and landed on the floor a little hard and realized they didn't have superpowers. That's what this great premise of this whole story is like. Yeah, why didn't anyone become a superhero? And there are people that put costumes on and walk around as superheroes. Like there's that vigilante character. It was in Chicago, Nick, or was it? Mm-hmm. It was some dude who was. I'm trying to remember, but if you go, there was a dude that was like pretending to be a superhero, just walking around with a costume, and I don't know if he ended up getting his ass kicked like Kick-Ass, but I mean, yeah, think about it. It's just such a fun concept. But this is so dark, though. But
it's showing you how dangerous it actually is because we're so used to big stories. Let's just say with like Iron Man, flying into the sky, doing his cool blast, or Thor with his hammer. You realize at the ground level, because that's where Dave Lazuski is, at the ground level, something as what seems simple, quotation marks simple, as jumping from building to building is actually a lot harder than it looks. It makes you realize, oh, crud, these are actually, to us, it's like, oh, it's just another thing because any superhero, but to him, it's like, holy crud, they make this look so like effortless, and now here I am, and this is terrifying. And it shows you how dangerous it is for a basic kid who's clearly never gotten into a fight before to get into a fight with a bunch of dudes who have weapons on him. It shows you how crazy it all actually is when you're literally at the ground level of a character as a kid. This makes Spider-Man look like a lot more superhuman than he actually is.
That's why he gets stabbed the first time he puts the costume on, right? And he's looking down like, I just got stabbed. Wait, I can't get stabbed.
Exactly.
It's a comic
I'm the hero of the story.
Yeah,
that just reminded me that we used to have this thing called nighttime TV. Did you see Craig Ferguson there?
I did.
The good old days when they didn't talk about Orange Man all the time, 24/7 on all those shows. Right?
Sorry, it gave me a tinge of nostalgia for a moment.
Yeah, no.
Look at those websites. Yeah. Look at the emails. Was that
Irish bastard every fucking night.
It was the before times. That's what it was.
The before times.
Yeah, and it's cool that obviously look, I like how they're being meta. There's a kick-ass comic coming out. I was like, oh, I see what you're doing there, type of deal. I see what you're doing. I like that. And it was cool because also I like how Mark Strong, who also does Lost Stuff with Matthew Vaughn, has done so many comic book projects. He was also Dr. Savannah in Shazam. He was also Carmine Falcone in The Penguin as well. So, and Mark Strong to me is a
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Awesome Green Lantern.
That's true. Yes.
He was in Green Lantern. He's a very underrated.
I love Mark Strong.
Every time he did something, he gives 100%. He's really good.
And I noticed on this one, Nick, because he usually plays a very serious character. He was in Kingsman, yeah. He appeared to be having the time of his life. It may just have been his acting, but it looked like he was just having a ball with his character.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
He gets to be the comic book almost the comic book parody of the villain in this. And I just thought he did nail it. I mean, it's great because you believe him when he shoots the imposter in the head. He's not screwing around. He's pissed off at this. He's losing money about this, and he doesn't know how to go after these idiots because they're not normal hoodlums that move in on his territory. What the hell does he do with these guys?
They're not expecting superheroes that's come in and change up the status quo because they think that's the stuff that happens in comic books. That doesn't actually happen in real life.
Yeah,
and now it's actually and by the way, if this was the Kingpin, he would have a plan 5 seconds ago.
Right. But these guys actually have secret. They have their secret identities. And once they take that suit off, he can't find them because he doesn't have the technology to track down the Kick-Ass through his computer system that the other superhero, the nut job, Damon McCready did. You may be
my
too
computer
easy
got
to
stuck
find.
here.
Totally not a conflict of interest. Totally not a conflict of interest.
Just purely accidental.
Hey, that is way too straight for the show.
Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay. Keep it gay, keep it gay, keep it gay.
Yeah, my 8th grade science teacher looked like that. She was a centerfold at one time. Nobody would tell me where. And then I got on Toxic Tuesday.
Oh, Oh, man. That was so
Angel was the centerfold.
Angel was the centerfold, man. And and she was married when she was teaching, and all the guys in her class had heard of this photo shoot. And I talked with a couple of guys on Facebook a few years ago, and one of them said he knew what it was, but he wasn't going to tell us because he wanted her. He was going to preserve her privacy. Yeah. And I don't disagree. Hey, it's years later. I don't disagree with that. This is
one of the scenes that definitely gives you a good. It's actually one of the better examples of how brutal the comic is. This scene is definitely one of the ones that definitely does it justice for sure. What's up, Gaskar? Long time no see, man. Great to see you as well. And of course, it's got one of the more memorable introductions ever. And once again, this was definitely taken straight from the books. And I would say probably the movie definitely does it better because even though I saw it coming, it's the music that adds to it. It's the music that makes it even better because the music is this like totally kiddie, la 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 di da music. And you see all this brutality going on. Well, you basically have like
it's the banana splits.
La 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 banana splits.
I laughed so hard.
Nobody remembers them now, Tom. Nobody
One potato,
remembers
two
them.
potato, three potato.
I laughed so hard at this scene. It kills me still to this
Well, what's
very
awesome is this song comes from the album that I keep talking about, that the Ramones album Spider-Man song comes from.
Yes.
There's a hard to find CD that I've been looking for years, but you can get some of those songs digitally, but yeah, it was this.
Not even on Discogs?
It's well, I'm sure you could, but it's like not cheap. Like, and that's the thing. I've only tried to order something once off of Discogs, and I've never gotten it. So I don't know. I don't like ordering off there.
It was the Dickies version of
it was the Dickies version. Though. So what it was,
because I've seen the Dickies in concert.
I was just about to. Well, we know you've seen plenty of Dickies. I was just
they were big or little at the time. They were big.
What the album was this the rock and punk groups of the era taking on all the Saturday morning cartoon songs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had the Dickies doing the banana splits. You had the Ramones doing Spider-Man. I can't remember who did Scooby-Doo, but there was a few other ones too that were on there. It was really great. I think Speed Racer was one of them. Another one that was on there. But yeah, it was a great compilation. And I used to have it when I was younger, but I lost it, and then now I've not been able to find it since. Mm-hmm. And one of the few that you still can download is the Ramones Spider-Man song, which I thought was a huge mistake not using that in No Way Home. But yeah,
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah, that'd been fun. Yeah.
What's up, Read by Nature? How you doing, sir? Thanks for being here. But dude, this introduction at Hit Girl, holy smokes! Even rewatching now with the music and the chaos. It's like, wow, it brings back so many memories from when I first saw this on page. I was like, holy crap, this little girl is killing the shit out of everyone. And when you say those words out loud, the little girl killing the shit out of everyone. It's like, wow, this is crazy.
It's even crazier is how young she is here, right? Like that's
her character is 11. Her character is 11. Now the actress, she was I think 13 or 14 when she played
13 or 14, I think. But yeah, like she still was like just the fact that she's able to carry this character, handle it with conviction, and not seemingly get corrupted by it, because she's one of the few kid turned adult actresses that we haven't heard a horror story about yet, that's happened to her. So that's a plus. I mean, because this kind of reminds me of how, like, Linda Blair always led a fucked up life afterwards, but at first, they went through the whole bunch of psychological shit just to make sure she could put up with it. And at that time, she seemed to be like ahead of the game as far as most kids go. And that's why I feel like Chloe probably got this role too, is because
there's that line.
They did one, I'm just saying they probably did 1 or 2 auditions with her, and they're like, this kid gets it. Right. Yeah. Like, and she can handle it seemingly.
She nailed it.
Yeah. So and she has ever since been able to, continue on. It wasn't just a fluke. So yeah.
Oh, dude, that is one gay looking taser. I fucking died when I heard that one.
Man. And the other thing about this movie that's fun to think about is how it came out before that craze of, the Marvel films, really, because it was just on the cusp of.
Just before, yeah.
So it's really, like you said in the beginning, Nick, more paying homage to the Raimi Spider-Man film more than anything.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep. Big time. It definitely is. There's a little bit of a love letter to comic books, a little bit of a love letter to the Raimi Spider-Man movies, while also being the first Kick-Ass movie, No, it's clear that they were trying to pack in as much without it making seem all over the place. It's one of those things where you don't really notice it unless you like are really in the know. And clearly, we're a bunch of guys here on the panel that are in the know. And here we go. Now you get to see someone who does get to leap the buildings and make it look effortless, whereas Dave was so terrified. And then
Yeah,
we
it's
get the
like,
great
screw
introduction
this.
of Big Daddy. Oh, Big Daddy. And I didn't know this actually until a few days ago. His inspiration for the voice for Big Daddy was Adam West's Batman.
There we go. Awesome.
Oh,
Yep.
there you go.
Fucking cool. I did not know that.
Oh, you didn't?
Adam
That's
West
cool,
is
yeah.
such a
I didn't
fantastic
know that.
voice.
It
too.
made sense. It made sense, but I didn't know that until recently. I was like,
Well, Nicolas
oh,
Cage is
yeah.
what makes this character work. Period. If it wasn't for him, I don't think anybody else could have played it without us going, this guy's should be behind bars through the entire movie, right? Like, that's my point.
Yeah.
It was the same as Iron Man. I remember this. It was cool to have a year where Iron Man 2 and this were out, and I was enjoying them both. I was like, dude, I remember thinking like that was the most we were ever gonna get in a year. I was like, wow, we're in a year where we get an Iron Man sequel and a kick-ass movie. We'll never get anything more like this in a year.
Yeah.
Man, how
I
the
just
times
want
have
to.
changed.
I just want to mention too. The Hit Girl controversy too. So the studios all rejected the project, right? So they said
Yeah,
too much
I
violence
know
swearing
about that.
for preteen Hit Girl. So they said, why don't you age her up and go to hand-to-hand combat, get rid of the guns. And then one studio that I was reading delivered 9 pages of notes calling Hit Girl a disaster. Sony, among others, wanted the violence toned down. And Vaughn refused to compromise. He financed the film independently through his Marv Films company. And that's when and Brad Pitt actually put up money as a producer. So you see his name in the credits.
Yes, he did.
And then Vaughn, that's when he mortgaged his house. So it just, but that's when this is, a project that these guys loved. And it's from, it wasn't just to make money, right? They loved these characters and it's their own creation. And God, it's so crazy to think that they had this idea. He had a couple of notes. He went to Vaughn. They're like, all right, you finish the comic. I'm going to make the movie.
Yeah.
And it turned out so well on both
Well,
ends.
I think it only happens because, and that was kind of why I was pointing it out, was before the Avengers craze. Yes, Iron Man had come out and a few other things, but if this was 3, 4, 5 years later, the studio takes over and it becomes
they wreck
a
it.
completely different story, right?
That's a good point, Tom.
And that's
Really
the thing
good
is,
point.
like, at this point, they didn't give a shit enough.
Yeah.
Right? They're just like, fuck this, we're not going to do it unless you do all these things. But like at that other point, then they would have offered, Mark way too much money for him to turn it down. And then he would just learn he just made a deal with the devil by realizing he just made a PG-13 kick-ass movie.
Which would never work. You can't do Hit Girl.
No.
Hit Girl's whole shock is like
Yes.
the violence and the language. It's the anti-Robin, right? Because you think it's Batman and Robin, but it's like psychotic Batman.
Exactly.
Although Chloe, Hit Girl's maybe not psychotic. It's just her dad.
She's a victim of circumstance. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But look at this scene. It's just look, he's grinding this guy in front of her.
Yeah,
She's
in a
just
car.
having fun with it.
Yeah, this is closer to Deadpool. This is closer to Deadpool than it is to Robin.
Well, and that's why I like what Matthew Vaughn did with it, is he kind of leaned more into that Deadpool-ish type humor than the original comic. They're both similar, right? Like, again, I don't want to keep beating that drum, but like, yeah, a lot of that stuff I felt come out of the Vaughn version of it more so because, and especially with the Hit Girl, like I said, it works mainly because you've got Nicolas Cage playing Flanders as the dad. That makes it work. The other thing is her being able to find the joy in doing these psychotic things that normally a girl would find in like playing with Barbies or jumping rope. You know what I mean? Like everyday normal girly things, but she's finding that joy in killing people.
What's he doing here? What lotion is he putting on? What are they doing?
He's liking it too.
But what are they doing?
Was this that tan thing they were doing?
Was this skincare? I'm forgetting what this was. Yeah.
About this shit. I don't know.
I was too distracted.
I don't remember either because I was too distracted as well. All I know is I wished I was Aaron Taylor Johnson at that moment.
Nah. Oh man, too good.
All right, quick, name all the weapons.
This reminded me more of, I see where Red Shirt was coming from, but this actually reminded me more of walking into any of the gun stores in GTA. That's what it looked like to me, I guess, but it just probably shows where my mindset was at the time.
I just like that his name is Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And there's that art right there. See, all that art was drawn
Yeah.
by the guy who actually did the comic, John Romita Jr. If you guys know his style in the chat, you'll notice, yeah, that's definitely his art. And that's cool because him and Mark got a hefty payday for this movie, not just because the getting the movie made, but because of the residuals, yada yada. And that's got to be the coolest feeling that we created this thing, and here it is being a success out in the world. I remember for a short period of time, I'd say from like 2010 through like 13, I do remember seeing cosplayers and Halloween costumes of Kick-Ass and Hit Girl for a short period of time. And that was cool to see, because once again, you don't see that stuff often outside of Marvel and DC. You get the exception, but that was the key word. That was the exception. But normally 9 times out of 10, it's Marvel DC characters, not something like this.
Yeah.
It was a cool period to have stuff like this succeeding as well as it did. And man, to think I get to draw comics from, I get to have my movie made from a comic, and then I get to draw art that I normally do for a comic, but for the movie. No, it's killer. And this guy actually ends up having a relationship in the book with Mindy, aka Hit Girl. She becomes basically her step dad, because it turns out that her mom is actually alive, and that's where volume 2, that's whole story takes place in volume 2. And yeah, that's a whole separate situation. Because he's actually with her mom, that guy. So yep, the second volume makes the first volume not even seem dark. The second volume maybe is straight up the Death Wish 2 of comic books. I'm not joking when I say that.
I vaguely remember I never finished after that. Like, I don't remember much about it.
It's good, but boy, do I feel like
I do know the movie is like completely different, right?
Because after I read it,
because the second film is more or less just its own sequel to the original movie.
Yeah,
it's based on anything.
It's not even. It's not even got Matthew Vaughn direct. It's a different director. Right. They want a totally different director. And it's the weird thing, because as much as I like that second volume, I don't know if I would be ready to see that in a movie. And yet, funny enough, it is a necessary volume to get to the third volume. And what was cool was in between 1, 2, and 3 of those volumes, Hit Girl's soul stories would take place between Kick-Ass 1 and 2 and Kick-Ass 2 and 3. She had 2 volumes of stories, and they were right in between those. So, yeah, we'll probably never get them. It makes me wonder what could have been had we had a Hit Girl spinoff, because she had spinoff comics, and oh boy, were they great. Both volumes are great. What's up, Christian?
Yeah, and these are only, how many books are there? There's 8 books in book 1. I'm looking at my comic book program. Yep. 8 books in book 1. And the first one is number 1 is only worth $40, so it's still very obtainable if you want to it's kind of cool to have the whole collection. So they're not uber expensive if you did want to try to go out and get the, I mean, of course they're in trade paperbacks too, but so there were 3 series, right? Yeah, there were 3
there's
3 series.
There's 4 Kick-Ass series, and there's 2 Hit Girl series as far as written by Mark. He did 4 volumes, and 3 of the 1, 2, and 3 were Dave Lazuski fronted stories. There was a 4th volume with a replacement, and Hit Girl had 2 volumes, and those took place between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. And then now their stories continue on in other Millar World stories. But thank you, Christian, for being a member for 35 months, sir. You have one of the biggest members on this entire membership, along with a few of the guys on the panel. So you guys are equal members. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Equal membering. So
I still think I've got the longest membership.
Membership. I love that. He seems so happy. Oh, the whole how he doesn't want to come out of the closet and tell her that he's actually straight.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when she says, "Oh, I wish you were," it's too bad you're gay or something.
Oh, dude, that killed me when she's like, I was like, that line would not be allowed to be said in a movie nowadays. Right? They want throw pitchforks at her for saying that. She needs to have him be gay. He's not allowed to be straight. And then there's that guy, McLovin, as the Red Mist. Now he definitely did justice to the characterization of the Red Mist for sure. He absolutely did. So I don't know if that was Vaughn or the writers or all of the above, but good job, guys. The kid was absolutely perfectly cast for the part. It sucks because, you know, obviously 2 did not do well, and I could see why. We will never know what could have been had they had done a third Kick-Ass shortly after a second movie, just to, let's just say, redeem it, and then get at least one hit girl movie. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
Christian for Day 5, something Kick-Ass. Laura Loomer is the only woman to visit India and not get SA.
Yeah, 2
The
words
words you can't say on YouTube.
You can't say it. Yeah.
You put it in my private. And
Assaulting of a nature of a kind.
Spicy.
That essay. All right,
apes like to do with grapes.
Assaulted. Yes, got it. All right.
Yes, plenty of nuts, plenty of salt.
Comment ever, Chris. She flew over my head. Thank you for Canadian 5, though. Damn it. You want to kill me tonight? You guys are funny. Oh, dude, yeah, and then Jim Carrey bring in who I don't think he even wanted to do the movie. So how he got there makes me wonder.
He does what he seems like he wants to be in the movie. In the movie, it was after the fact because he made some stupid statement about guns, and it's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
like, dude, like we get
You're
it.
in a
The
movie
movie's about ultra violence. I mean,
then he should have not done the damn movie.
Well, I mean, here's the thing the movie's point is it's kind of anti-violence, right? Like, I mean, both films, like, that's kind of their whole point at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's also like, dude, you just need to learn how to read the room here. I mean, Jim Carrey is a weird fucking fellow.
No, I know.
Yeah, didn't that when that happened, didn't everyone was pissed at him? And he got a lot of blowback, especially for the people that worked on the movie. And
well,
like,
yeah,
you know,
because it kind of tanked the movie, and its opening weekend. I mean, I'm not saying the movie would have done that great, but I'm just saying, like, he didn't help. I mean, it's not as bad as some of the statements we get nowadays, but it is pretty divisive
at
and
the
stupid.
time. So, Tom, to your point, it was pretty bad because I wasn't as, I guess you could say, well deep into like paying attention to micro details that would be happen. Let's just say, you know, behind the scenes or on the red carpet. I remember normies actually talking about that situation with the Kick-Ass movie. And it definitely was carrying stigma, and there was a lot of people who just by default didn't see it. So, and it wasn't like just the fact that it didn't help that it was not well received, but the fact that people just didn't give it a chance. So,
well, it was after Sandy Hook. It was after Sandy Hook, so I
was just gonna say,
yeah.
I was gonna say a lot of that.
And
Was
what a
at the time
moron!
because of the
What a
school stuff,
fucking moron he is!
Tie those things together. Oh yeah, what a
and
well, that's what I meant. Yeah.
And my one of my cousins was a teacher at Sandy Hook, third grade teacher there. So you know, whenever I hear stuff about Sandy Hook, you know, thankfully she was okay physically, but you know, I mean, yeah, you was this Kick-Ass movie, a Hollywood movie about extreme violence, have anything to do with Sandy? You know, is that a reason? It's like, no, that's not the message of this movie,
no,
right?
But
I mean,
I'm willing to bet. You know, here's the thing that we didn't do at the time. Sorry, Redshirt. I just got to say, I think I'm willing to bet. I can't remember who asked the question or what was asked, but I guarantee you how it came into being was because somebody probably brought up the fact that you have a child doing violent things. And probably one of the interviewees probably tied it to that, to be honest with you. And that's what we got to remember. We've learned
media is not your friend.
Exactly. They twist this shit so often to make these headlines. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, there's actually a precedent for whether they should or they shouldn't, you know, make the association. Boondock Saints. Boondock Saints was about to go into theaters just after Columbine. And it went straight to video.
Yeah, there was a few movies that were affected by Columbine. Yeah,
it had no theatrical run.
I mean, it seems kind of weird, because nowadays it seems like we have a school shooting every other week. But like, yeah, when Columbine happened, when some of these other things happened, they weren't happening on the level like that they are now. I mean, again, we could get into a whole fucking debate about that, but like, the point is should Jim have said it? No, I don't know if he meant it in the sense of what he did at the time, but honestly, if you take a look at that, ever since then, he has been either non-present when it comes to red carpet shit, or he seems to be very well handled in a sense of has a set up specific things he will say, and then he moves on. So I think he learned from that experience, to be honest with you. Again, I'm not trying to stick up for the guy, but I'm just saying. I mean, I loved him when I was a kid, but I also knew he was weird then. So,
well, he's either learned to be well behaved on the red carpet, or they have a production assistant with a taser behind him.
Well, here's one thing about Jim is if you go back through his history, he does seem to learn from some of his mistakes, unlike most actors, right? Like, I mean, he's had times where he's gone on these weird fucking ventures of shit, and then he'll come back and seemingly it's like, okay, you get it. You acted like a moron. You came back.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just come out and said, like, I don't condone violence. Yeah, the movie is really about the consequences of violence.
Say that, period. You just don't say that, because when you bring that up in the slightest, you're by default affiliating people to gun violence and real life and the movie. You're making a weapon, you're weaving them all together. You just don't go there, period.
Yeah.
If you don't brings up, we're here, we made a movie, this has nothing to do with it. Done.
Right. You don't conflate the two.
Yeah. But no,
there's no need for that.
Get out of his own way with it.
Yeah, I mean, it was as Thomas said, maybe he was asked a question and then that's when he went off. But there's ways to answer that question without tanking the movie, or saying, yeah, I'm against guns and I don't think people should have if you want to say that, but the movie's not supporting this.
Though he didn't even have to say that. You just don't bring it up. They don't go again, because even when you start saying I'm against guns, you're attaching your opinion, your thoughts, attaching this movie.
Well, I'm against guns too. It just depends on how they're being used, right? Like, that's the thing.
Are you against them at this second?
It's not about sitting against them at this second. It's not about our opinion. It's about, I want people to see this movie. I don't want to get them to think about all these real life things. I want them to get lost in the movie, not attach real life sentiments to it, in my opinion. Because then you get to a point where you see the actor and his political opinions first, and not the character he's supposed to portray.
Well, and that's fair.
Yeah, that was a bad it was a bad fourth wall break, is what it was.
Yes, thank you, Red Shirt.
Well, and like I said, though, I'm not going to put all the blame on Jim Carrey. I'll put most of it on him, but I'm not going to put all of it because, like I said, first of all, we have no idea exactly what led up to that string of questioning to get to that point. We got to see the whole video first.
Right.
And as we've learned, the media is very manipulative in getting their little sound bites and how they get people to say it
what
and then
they
how
wanted.
they present it. Right.
Yeah.
There's all those things and factors that go into it. Like I said, since then, it seems like Jim has backed off on certain things and not made a fool out of himself as much as that night. And again, I don't think he had intended for I don't think he had any problem with the film. I don't think he had intended the comment to be conflated with the film and the Columbine thing all wrapped into one. But as I said, Jim is a fucking actor. And this is one thing you'll learn about actors as we've learned, especially in the last few years, is they are all stupid. Okay. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's why they are given scripts. Okay. Because they're not scientists. They're not doctors. They're not even teachers or writers or any of these things they play in movies. They're fucking actors, right? They literally have no skills whatsoever than to bullshit you. Okay, so that's one thing you got to remember from now on when it comes to actors saying shit.
A scientist.
That's different. He's got a PhD or a diploma. Like that. I mean, we're talking like
the exception to the rule.
The exception
You
to
have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man.
James Woods, I believe, also has a bunch of like doctorates or whatever degrees or something like that. But that's my point is like, yes,
he's
except
PhD or something, isn't he? He's
exceptions to the rule. But then there's Jim Carrey.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Can we have a sleepover?
who has basically lived in the lap of luxury since he was about 27, 8, 9 years old, 30-ish years old. So like the guy has no frame of reference of what real life is like since he was a kid.
His was like a third forearm.
Thanks.
There's no way that tree trunk was going inside me.
His dick's not small.
Anyway, Jim Carrey's a nut.
Just before this
in the movie.
Well, but yeah, just before this is my favorite exchange. I put part of it into my promo for this on X. Starts with she says, what the, you're not going to go back. Okay. She says,
okay, keep going back. I'm trying to go back.
Now,
but I don't know
I'll just read it off because I'll just do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it in the characters. Dave, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you dressed as Kick-Ass? Because I am Kick-Ass. What are you talking about? I'm also not gay. Fuck.
That was funny. That was
he still looks pretty gay though.
Well, until he gets more pumped up.
Gay.
Yeah, I love the
Quicksilver in a couple years, but
I love one throwaway line. Who are you supposed to be? Green condom?
Oh yeah, green condom. Yeah.
And look, he goes right, boom, he goes right to second base. He doesn't even, practically not even
he's already
kissing.
seen him, so I mean,
time is short.
Time is short. Boom, go.
Not only that, this dude has been getting tick freezed for.
He's already been close to her naked, so this is like,
he's already been getting prick teased. I was gonna say for like the last how long? So like,
yeah.
It was clear that she was having a crush on a gay guy. So it was just a natural fit.
Oh, and she's got it. Like, and the beauty of this is she actually acted like most girls would. Because let's be real, girls, they aren't going to be grossed out by it. They're going to be like, yes, I fucking conquered this shit. I'm the one that made him not gay.
Yeah. Right. Oh God. Yeah. Bring him out to the moon and back, straight up. What's up?
And do you think they really went to see the gay Kate Hudson movie, or did they go? No, they're not going to see the Kate Hudson. Well, there we go. Boom.
Yeah.
They can't keep their hands off each other. Yeah.
And it does help that he's Kick-Ass, of course. But yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Because now she sees that I'm fucking the green condom. I mean, it sounds crazy.
He's getting a different kind of ass now.
Yeah.
And his dad really gets the shaft of this whole thing too, man. Like,
well, his dad kind of had like a small story, not. His part gets suspended.
Well, I mean, like his dad gets fucked real bad. I mean, like that's what I mean. Like in the story itself. Like I mean, like did anybody else get the Uncle Ben vibes out of his dad though? Like they literally cast this guy because he looks and sounds a lot like the actor who plays Uncle Ben.
I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that, Tom, for sure. I could definitely see that. No, this is one of the the infamous remakes with the Red Mist.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Red Mist.
Red Mist.
Oh dude. Oh,
this again where the movie kind of is a little bit up on the comic because this actor makes the Red Mist this character. Like
he is perfect for it. And
yeah,
I love the triumphant almost it kind of reminded me of the Danny Elfman Batman score as they're driving around in his, I guess we'll call it the Mistmobile. Because they're just like immediately just hit it off as best buddies right then and there. And I was like, wow, this music sounds
what I like is it's like a plot, but at the same time, like the Red Mist actually does kind of get friendly with him, right? Like he actually does, because that's really doesn't have any fucking friends, right? Like so they actually have this conflict of like,
well, no one can approach him, right? The bodyguard will scare when he goes into the shop. He's like, go the fuck away or whatever. No, like do not approach, right? Yeah, so he's got no friends, yeah. And his dad's a psychopath, right? Too, right? So the crime boss, yep. So, yeah.
No, it's a well-told scene, and then of course,
it uses the trope so well. It was kind of what I was getting at is like this setup of the the arch enemy, right?
Yes.
They're always friends first, right? Like, but it's just the way that it pans out here and it works out. Like Mark and whoever, like I said, I don't know, did Mark write it himself?
Mark wrote the comic book.
Okay, I didn't know if he was the only.
I don't think he has any writing credits for the movie. I don't think he does.
Well, I'm sure he's based on for the comic, but yeah.
No, he wrote.
But when you put it that way, Tom, it reminds me of Syndrome in The Incredibles.
Right.
He starts out as Buddy, the sidekick, gets rejected, and then he decides to come back as their worst enemy.
Well,
his motivation is he wants to be in his dad's business.
Yep.
Right. And that's probably why these are some of the better villains that we've had out of these. And that's one thing that the Marvel movies don't get about villains, right? Like yes, you can do a villain to where they think they're the good guy. Like that's the thing. That's the point is most villains don't realize they're a fucking villain until it's too late. Right. Like,
yeah.
Well, no, they don't ever think they're the villain. No, no, actors act. Who was it? Brian Dennehy talked about that. They said, "How do you play a villain?" He says, "I remember that villains don't think they're villains."
Well, that's why he's so great in Rambo, right? Because as far as he's concerned, from his point of view, he even played it that way, that he was the hero. Rambo was the bad guy, right? Like that, right. And that's the way Teasel saw it in his eyes. So, like, yeah.
Right. And Dip Silverado, he plays a great bad guy who thinks he's just
a likable one, yeah.
You know, a likable bad guy, a likable businessman. Ruthless,
well, and that's how bad
likable.
guys make likable bad guys, especially Hans Gruber being one of the main, ideal versions of that, right? Is because they know, yes, in certain instances they're being bad, but at the same time, they think they're justified in what they're doing, and they don't think it's as bad as what everybody else, or they don't see the actual crime in it, right? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, it's
right.
To them, they're being righted in some ways. And I've made it my whole analogy of, like, the thing that Marvel and other people have forgotten is that what makes a good villain is that something bad happens to them and they think they can take it out on society, to where a hero is something bad happens to them and they make sure that that never happens to society again. Right. Like, that's the demarcation line of most here. Like, again, there's deviations from that, but that kind of pretty much sets everything up. And you can't have a Thanos level character all the time who thinks he's so justified in this fucking thing, or like these soppy, like somewhat villains like, Scarlet Witch and shit all the damn time. That's why you're getting such like half-assed fucking reactions to these movies. And even Baron Zemo was a bit of that. That was probably the weakest spot of Civil War, because you're like, these villains aren't really villains anymore. Like,
they're cardboard cutouts. Yeah.
Yeah. The only villains that know they're villains in comic books, if you go back through history, are Batman's villains. They're the only ones that straight up know they're villains, and they act like it because they know they're villains. They take pride. Exactly. Dr. Doom thinks he's justified. He does not think he's a villain.
He's the ruler of a country. He's doing what he's got to do for his people. Yeah, screw every other countries. Make Latveria great again.
The best example is Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor thinks he's doing the American thing. He thinks he's helping the Earth by stopping this alien from dominating us. Right? Like, in his perception, he is the hero.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they may not think they're heroes, but they certainly think they're justified in their actions.
Yeah, that too, right? Like, or it's the justifiable reasoning behind it. Yeah,
there's rationale for everything.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, Cassandra Nova from Deadpool and Wolverine was a well done exception for Marvel.
Well, that's because they had very little to do with that too, probably. Yeah.
Mainly because Disney Marvel was basically shut out of the room most of the time. Which is great.
For this
That's
scene,
what saved it.
For this scene, this was actually way more brutal in the book and way more humiliating. You're thinking, how can it get more humiliating? Well, they didn't do a live stream.
Bone in his body too.
Well, they didn't do a live stream in the comic. What they did was they sat him on the chair the way he is now, and they actually pulled his pants down and they put jumper cables on his balls.
Yep.
And they
did that for free. I have to pay for that kind of thing.
In some countries, yes.
And they basically zapped the shit out of the dude constantly.
Yeah, I remember that in the book.
Very brutal.
I think we should play balls to the wall.
But
I
remember right. Doesn't Big Daddy die basically the same way though? Set on fire, burning alive.
Does the same way. And in this volume, that is for sure a thing that even this late in the movie, it's one of the things that they thankfully kept intact, and it was still a noble. I love Nicolas Cage. This is where he gets his most caginess as he's on the chair falling over, and he's like going. That's the most full cage scene he has in the movie. I was like, oh. And here I thought he was not going to go full cage an entire movie.
Well, it needed him to go full
cage. But
if any movie ever recalled for it, it was this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I can't think, other than maybe Bruce Campbell, is the only, and it would be more of a sarcastic version of it, right? Like, there's no other actor I can think of that we could sit here and watch for 2 hours and train this kid to be a killer and not go, that motherfucker needs to be in prison, other than Nicolas Cage.
Back in the old days, there were Johnsons as far as the eye could see.
And what a lovely sight it was.
Exactly. I don't think anybody else could have pulled this off. I really don't.
I agree.
Yeah, I would agree as well. I thought I had the accept clip. It's almost like, did it?
Oh, it's got
John Denver, if he was still alive, would have been able to do it. That's it. That's the only other person I
What
think.
was that song of
Let's
his?
see.
You
Yeah.
came on my pillow.
Whoa! What? Oh, that was.
But that's just
some
because John Denver had that
good-
image, right? Like we know that he was an alcoholic,
No, he was.
whatever. But like
talented guy. Though.
talent as fuck. But like no,
His version of 4 Strong Winds is absolutely beautiful.
But I'm just saying he's the only other guy I could think of that could carry this on screen because like with Nick, we're ready to take anything out of him because he's Nicolas
Yes,
Cage,
you have
right?
to
Like
expect
Well,
it.
you look at him in okay, just yeah,
Jack
his
Nicholson
real
might
life
be
is
the only
weird.
other person I could think of, but yeah, he's too old
No,
at this point.
no, I
Too
don't
old
think
at
he
this
could pull
point,
this
though.
off. Yeah, but just think back on if you've seen it, John Denver in Oh God.
Yes,
What a-
Exactly.
Oh, I've
Just
seen
what a fundamental, he's a fundamentally good person who's terrified that he's talking to God because what does this mean? I'm going to get sent to hell. It's funny. And it's a great ending to the movie if you haven't seen it, but it's another character that's like this, that you
That's
don't
why
know
I
what
thought
this
of
guy's capable of because he's just this mousy,
Yes.
quiet. It's it's just like the
Unassuming,
saying, it's the
normal,
quiet ones you gotta
average kind of
watch.
looking guy. Exactly. And that's what
Yes.
made me think of it is he could pull that off and he's likable enough that the audience would go along with it and be like, okay, I can kind of see. And that's why I said
Yes.
Nicolas Cage is the only one who could sell this. You couldn't sell this with Robert De Niro. You couldn't sell it with Al Pacino. You couldn't sell it with even Jim Carrey. I don't
No.
think he could have pulled it off either.
What's up, Void King?
No.
I don't agree, but I appreciate your honesty. Thank you for being here regardless. I love me some Accept, even though I love me some Saxon.
He just likes the balls most.
Saxon, Striper,
Balls to the
Priest,
wall.
Maiden. Yeah. No, I love me some Accept big time, but no.
The new wave of German
Now,
heavy metal.
Hit Girl does come in and she definitely got involved and went more AWOL, which is awesome to see. This was great to see like the relationship like between father and daughter, and he starts singing his face off as the fires are burning. I was like, wow, look at Cage's. I'm gonna have to bring my Gina down for this. Let me get my Gina down just so we can see the crazy Cage faces because it's like oh man, I don't even know what he says here. I'm like, is he?
Nobody else would have played it like this.
No one. It's straight up no one. And so good.
I
So
love that she's
freaking good.
driving too.
Yeah, she's driving.
It's more like look, and it's a symbolic too, right? Because now she's in the driver's seat, right?
Oh,
Like that's
her eyes
kind
were
of
right.
the point.
Oh, that was weird.
She's
Her
in
eyes
charge
were-
now, right? Yeah.
He's supposed to be in charge, but he does might come around to actually getting some genuine superhero wins by the movie's end, not just barely getting by. But obviously there's some much needed help from the actual veteran. But no, it's good to see his fight with Red Mist be a thing that he does handle on his own. Because he got, at that point, if he can't even do one thing on his own, then yeah, at that point it wouldn't be Kick-Ass's movie anymore. You got to have him accomplish something. So it wasn't enough just to have him get the girl for the movie, even though that was a big change from the comic. It was necessary for the movie because once again, if you ended the movie like that, even if the movie is, let's just say, received well, people would knock on that ending. So that's not how you end a movie. That's not. It works for a comic book ending because you can easily move the story on and not have to worry about the next volume. You can fix that. Movies, there's a lot more money on the line, and with so much more money on the line, if that flops, well, then forget having a franchise potentially. So,
Well, and that's what Marvel and some of these other guys aren't thinking of when they're making these movies, and that's why Spider-Man is doing so well because, like Guardians of the Galaxy, it's one of the few franchises in the Marvel universe that's pretty much self-contained outside of the Avenger films, right? So That's what we're missing a lot of in Hollywood, and that's what I've been saying for a while, is that they need to get back to that. They need to remember that each movie is its own movie.
Yeah,
Right?
you
Like,
can
I
have
love
it in-
connectivity as much as any other guy, but at the same time, when I go into a movie, I want to feel like I had a meal. I don't want to feel like I just had the appetizer and first course and didn't have the rest, right? Like, that's bullshit. You go into a restaurant, you pay for the full meal, and you only get the opening salvo. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, and I can understand that and why people
agree.
feel like they're being cheated. And not only that, you just don't feel like you got an entire story out of it all. This is turned into television and not movies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. You can have it still be continuity, but you still gotta get a full story. And the movie, you got a full story, and yet there's obviously you don't have to have watched other things or understand it, but do you benefit from it? Of course you do, and it's all about the balance. And that movie absolutely nailed the balance. What's up, E Clay? Says hello, ball washers. Yes, we are ball washers here. We got so many, but there's that line. With no power comes no responsibility. That wasn't true. Oh man, I like how also Mark Strong, when as he's fighting Hit Girl, he says something along the lines of, I wish my son turned out this way." I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
I love that. Yeah.
Oh man,
Ouch, yeah.
taking a big
Kaboom.
swing. Yeah, I was like, damn, fuck, dude.
And she's a girl, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And you buy it because, as Tom and Richard were talking about earlier, you see her story play out, so you can actually buy it. Everything about it makes sense because of her upbringing. Everything about it. No, it's a great third act. It is a really hopeful third act for sure. And I'm glad
It
they
pays
went
off
this
like a
route.
motherfucker, yeah. So
It takes off. He freaking
I said
puts
pays
stuff
off
up.
like a motherfucker, but yeah, it takes off too.
And
but yeah.
she's nervous in this scene too, which I like too. It's just it's not all kick ass the whole time. Like, yeah, she's got these moments where she's destroying people, but then she's kind of
but also it's the first time on her own, basically too.
And
Yeah,
Tom does put up a fight against her because, well, he's an adult man. He's got to at least.
Yeah,
have
but you can
some
see
sort of
like her acting is so good when she's stuck behind the sink there, or in the kitchen, or wherever she is. She's hesitating. That first adrenaline, and then she's really just so great in this role. And she's had a pretty decent career, I guess. Chloe, I don't know what she's done lately. She was in that TV show that got canceled on Netflix, the one with the VR, soldiers who could all go into VR. And they only did one season. I think COVID killed it. It was pretty good, and never got another season. So I don't know what she's up to lately, but yeah, and the shock of this too. Like the joke is the purple haired quote unquote liberal liberal girl. She's kicking ass there and taking names and shooting guns and throwing stars and she's just brutal, and the language too. So her mom actually said, yeah, you got to let her do the language too. It's not going to work without the dialogue either. So it's just so much fun watching this. Yeah, it doesn't mean we condone having an 11-year-old go out and become a vigilante. It's just movies are escapist fantasy, right? I mean, if you go try to do that, then there's something wrong with you in the head, right? It's just and it shows all this movie shows all the consequences of the violence too. It's not like they get away scot-free, all these characters. So major characters die. Both dads are dead here.
Just to interject, and you can take it right back. If you remember in the comics, she was actually a very hardcore anti-leftist. She would talk shit about about the New York City policies and trash talk them. If you remember, go back and read them. But
yeah, it's been a while since I read it. But
a lot of smack on the system.
Yeah, I was just reading the other day, they let this guy out, another guy that gets out of prison who's, been arrested like 30 times and, takes someone out. It's like, and Kick-Ass is not really that kind of, Hit Girl and Big Daddy aren't that kind of vigilantes. They're more, this is all about, revenge but Kick-Ass is that kind of, I guess you could say is that kind of vigilante too. But that's where people get so fed up. It's like, why are you letting these people out on the streets, right? They've been arrested 30 or 40 times. Maybe they should be in prison, and then they get out and let them out, and then they kill someone, or stab someone. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, no. I couldn't tell you Matthew Vaughn's positions. I know he used to be moderately left, but now he says in the last few years he's become politically homeless because, well, of how crazy his home country's gotten. But regardless of the positions, he's got characters that he is, I guess you would say, are politically diverse, which is there actually is diversity of thought in these stories. And yet it's still all about the entertainment of the story. These types of thoughts are just an afterthought. It shouldn't be something we have to go out of our way to think about. These guys understand it's about writing a story first. You can have, sometimes some political elements or go full on political, but like there's definitely movies, especially a lot of the 90s, like political thrillers had them, but it's still all about the damn story. But let's talk about the craziness of the big old because who cares about politics, dude? Let's look at how David Lazuski kills the shit out of these guys, and the best payoff with the bazooka ever.
Yeah,
what a way to go out!
This is, and I was reminded because
go ahead.
Yeah, I was reminded actually watching this because I was starting to wonder. Wait a minute. Where's the thing with the miniguns and what's going to happen with the bazooka? Now, to step aside for a second into movie theory, no less than Alfred Hitchcock once said, if you put a gun show the audience a gun on the mantelpiece in Act 1, you have to have somebody fire it by Act 3. We've seen this thing, and they wait to the very end of the movie.
Charles Bronson
we still
said.
haven't seen what happens with the bazooka. And they couldn't have had a better payoff for those two things they showed us, a while ago, than to be the instrument of the final act.
In fact, I think you're right, Brian. I think the line from Death Wish, what was it, 3 or 4, was, if you show me a bazooka in the first act, I'm definitely going to use it in the third.
That's right, and I did.
And that's the Charles Bronson version of Alfred Hitchcock.
Red Shirt's line was, "Is that a bazooka in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me?"
Oh,
What's a pretty big? Is that the biggest bazooka you've ever seen in someone's pocket?
It may be maybe Chekhov's gun, but it's Bronson's promise.
Oh man, that's good. That's very good.
That's the biggest bazooka I've ever seen in someone's pocket pants.
It's not. It's a hell.
It's about average, but it has hell of a bang.
Both fights feel like they're earned. Both feel like they earned their journeys to get in them, because obviously there's the rivalry with Mark Strong and Big Daddy. And then obviously the friendship gone wrong with Dave Lazuski and Red Mist. And it's got great like action weight and emotional weight to both fights. And it definitely goes out with quite a literal and figurative bang. And they're good fights too. You put on now, they're still very entertaining to watch. So
yes,
it's crazy how much like this movie still looks good and still entertaining. You still are through living through the movie in the suspense and the craziness of it all. And I love how they're like, realism, dude just getting blessed by a bazooka on the 30th floor of a New York City building. Yeah, fuck it, just do it. It'll be fun, she said. And then just go for it. Who cares about the rules, about the shit about, oh man, this needs to be rooted in reality, guys.
Yeah, well,
there's even the little payoff here with the knife. Sorry, go ahead, Red Shirt.
Yeah, well, they combined the finding, showing us the bazooka, saving it the best for last, and the Bronson reference, the Bronson stuff, the Bronson concept, in that she's about ready to be taken out. She's on the floor. She's done, and he points the gun right in her face, and the door's open. Kick-Ass steps in with the bazooka. All the bodyguards are down. And he says, "Hey, why don't you pick on someone your own size?" And I thought, that's perfect. There's the, comes no responsibility, but that wasn't true. He's found a way to take the responsibility, which I thought was great. And again, it would never be shown today because he has to save her butt, and that's not allowed. She would have to be saving him.
What
you're gonna add something?
I don't remember exactly what it was, but yeah, Red Shirt I think kind of nailed a lot of whatever points I was probably going to make. So
absolutely,
no, we're good. We're good.
It's a great third act, and it's definitely something I buy too with a kid who's still figuring out.
I just brought up the butterfly knife as the payoff.
Thank you. That's what it was. The butterfly knife. I'm glad you mentioned
yeah.
that because I forgot to mention that. Thank you. No, it's great to see a lot of these things. Things that you don't think about will be a
well, it's just really good storytelling, even though a lot of it's cliches. It's done in a way that is set up that you don't always realize it's a setup, right? Like she just wants these butterfly knives because we're like, because she's this nutty girl that is into self-defense and shit because of the way her dad raised her. So she wants a butterfly knife like a girl would normally want a Barbie doll, right? Like
set up and payoff.
Exactly. But then later on, it becomes a much bigger payoff in a way that you didn't realize earlier on.
I've got one of those.
It's a good setup, even though it's a heartbreaking setup, but they were about to enjoy TV time having hot chocolates, and she comes back and right after the death of Big Daddy.
Well, that's one of the more obvious ones too.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's still like, oh damn, I forgot about that. You don't think of it as something that's gonna amount to something. Those are the best setups and payoffs where you don't think of it as that. You just see it as a moment in time. And then it comes back, oh shit, that was what they were last doing together. And he was saying, oh, we'll make more when we get back. And he never got back.
Well, it's almost like they forgot basic 101 writing about setting up and paying things off. And they telegraph that shit so often to the audience in the smaller little things that it's like they forgot how to throw the audience off a little bit. Right. Or making things feel so natural that when they do pay off, you're like, oh yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Richard.
Yeah. They're very good at making the payoffs have impact. The problem is they've forgotten how to make the setups pass by you as just another moment in the film.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of it. Take a contrast. You don't know it is that.
Right. Contrast that with the final scene in Top Gear Maverick. He says, we'll talk when we get back. That's foreshadowing. Oh shit, there's a setup there.
Right.
That's a setup.
My favorite one is one that everybody always misses, and that's in the movie that I swear we haven't done yet on this show, and we should, and that's Fallen, especially after Spider-Man just came out. Have you seen that yet, Nick? Fallen with Denzel Washington? Fallen?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, because the first line in the movie is, let me tell you about the time I almost died. And once you realize that's the entire setup for the entire movie, you're like, oh shit.
I did see it at the time, when it was out. Yeah.
It's a great movie. And Spider-Man, that's why people are bringing it back up again, because I've mentioned it a few dozen times throughout the years, but like now that Spider-Man happened, everybody's reminded of it again because there's a similar, because basically very similar, the whole plot is basically the same as what Dark Phoenix or what's her face is Jean Grey is doing through the whole movie, jumping through bodies. So it's about this killer who can jump through bodies, basically, is what it's about. So it's really cool.
You want to draw back a thought from the fills that
John Goodman's in it too.
Well, that's the thing.
Good cast. Gandolfini.
It would have been nicer, but I don't think, and now this my memory might be off. I don't think they were seen face to face in the book either. It was about having her be the revenge because that was supposed to be originally his fight, and now she has to be the one that finishes it for him because he took her dad, so she was avenging her death. So yeah, and this is what should have been him amounting to becoming his evolutionary villain, because in the sequel comic he goes from being Redness to the motherfucker, and boy, the motherfucker is 20 times worse, psychotic, destructive. It is. He is downright like he is.
But yet there's a really good reason for that. Who says this line before he does? This is a straight reference. Wait till they get a load of me.
I can't remember, but I knew it was from something. I couldn't remember.
That's Jack Nicholson's Joker in Batman 1989.
Well, yeah.
So he has promoted himself to Nicholson's Joker right there with that line.
I haven't watched the sequel in a while. Is he the motherfucker in the sequel? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I remember wasn't being wild on the sequel.
Yeah, he's in it. Okay. It's all right. It's not
I know
we got the.
As
Oh,
good.
There we
that's nice.
go.
I know Romita Jr. was not wild about the sequel. The artist, he was not wild. I think he was on my buddy John's Long Box, if any of you guys know who he is in the chat or on the panel. But
Yep.
he was on his show like about a year ago, and I think it was there. I was on somewhere stream, or maybe it was Perch. But he was talking how he was not happy with how that sequel turned out. So, and it seems like there was probably several reasons to not be happy with that sequel. One of them was not getting Matthew Vaughn back. I want to know what happened there. That should have been for Matthew Vaughn to have done. That's crazy.
Yeah, because he originated the character in some ways with Millar, right? I mean, because they both had, Millar's creation, but he said, let's do this together as a partnership. Comics is one medium and
they
film is
still have a
another.
relationship to this day, and they end up working together later on, obviously with the Kingsman movie as well. They've held on to a good friendship, and Matthew Vaughn still made my favorite X-Men movie on top of it, First Class. First Class.
So it's
so good.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy when you're like a co-creator that in some ways. And I don't know, has this ever been done before? Where there, I mean, you mentioned 2001, but I don't know if it's, a comic or another property where. Well, I guess maybe Game of Thrones, right? Because he never finished Martin never finished the books, I guess, right? But usually you have the book is all laid out, and then you make it not at the same time. Yeah,
that's a big one. So are we gonna play some clips on the green button?
Oh shit, I didn't do. Oh, I'm so out of practice. Let me find. I'll find some. Well, let me just check if we have a playlist on the YouTubes, and we can flip over.
We're just gonna go over toxic scores, and we can always just do it for next week. Okay,
till next week you're fired.
But
till next week I'm fired.
You've not been present most of the show. I want you to tell us your toxic thoughts on Kick-Ass.
Well, it's pretty toxic when you consider that a guy shoots his own daughter in the chest about 3 times. Which is fairly toxic. A guy who's clearly gay pretends to not be gay to be gay to get a girlfriend.
And she didn't want him to be gay.
Torture. There's torture in it. Torture's pretty toxic. We've got a young girl that's going around literally kicking ass. But on the other hand, there's some pretty good male role models in it too, and it's got Nicolas Cage, so it's a good 8 for me. I would say this is an 8. It's packed full of toxicity if you think about it.
It's a toxic movie. It really is. I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't do this one sooner. Once again, I know you're like, how did we not do that?
I mean, I've not covered everything in it, but that's just some of the key things. But I think it's pretty toxic.
Okay, excellent. And we got Darth View here with a score. Toxicity is definite, and 8. He says, "Well, chat. Go ahead and get the rest of your toxic scores out. We will acknowledge them as they come." Red Shirt, toxic thoughts on Kick-Ass.
Oh man, this is. I'll use a term from Clockwork Orange. This has ultra violence. It has vigilantism. If Death Wish is a guy who is a very efficient at taking out what he considers to be the undesirables, this movie makes it a spectacle to take out the undesirables, especially Hit Girl. Hit Girl would be a girl boss if it were made today. She's not a girl boss. She has a background. We understand her backstory. We understand why she is good at what she does. We understand that she's been under the influence of her father, who's basically lost every one of his marbles. And so she is a believable character and not a message character. That wouldn't fly. And of course, at the end of the movie, she has to be saved by the male hero of the movie, Kick-Ass, and that is a definite no-no with a certain segment of the audience these days. Not allowed to do that. Basically, I like the references to the comics. I wouldn't have if I'd seen it when this came out, because I wouldn't have gotten the references. I wouldn't even. I mean, maybe I might have gotten the Batman and the reference like that, but that would have been about the only references I would have gotten would have been Batman references. The rest of it would have left me going, what the anyway. Yeah. And it's got a villain. It's got a villain who's you understand for the most part why Red Mist is motivated. He wants to be part of his father's crime empire. Because he knows that's the source of all the cool shit that he can go out and buy. And he's also the reason he has no friends. So he might as well turn away from making friends and go to them. And, that's just that they're not misunderstood. They're not misunderstood people who are the villains. They have really good reasons and really good backstories, and they are absolutely believable as villains. And they think they're just, they're in business, but their method of doing business is pretty ruthless. So yeah, I'm going to join the club and give this one an 8. This is an 8 on the toxicity scale.
Jonathan Conroy says toxic season 9.5. Matthew Marzell second staff for 9. For coming of age hero wannabe baby gay costume guys and girl playing with mobsters, Big Daddy yelling bazooka blasting climactic comic film goodness. Woo! And then we get Void King, regular score said toxic score 8. Corellian Rogue has a toxic score of 9 as well. I'm liking these 8s and 9ers here on average. Mark, toxic score.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is, I guess this got to be a 10, right? I mean, what gets more toxic than an 11-year-old girl using an assault rifle and butterfly knives and killing people and left and right, her language? I mean, just freaking, just the kick-ass character all around, right? And I just love the idea of like Mark Millar, the creative genius coming up with this whole world. And yeah, it's a takeoff of Spider-Man. What if we had powers? But and it does it. It's a hard R, but it's not. In some ways, it's not over the top, right? It's kind of believable, like how it would be, in a grounded way if you really did have a superhero, put a suit on and try to be a superhero. Yeah, maybe you're gonna get stabbed in the gut the first time, right? You don't have a spidey sense. So in some ways, yeah, you could argue the violence is, it's over the top and hit girl, but in other ways, it'd be like, yeah, maybe this is what it would be like, right? So yeah, I think it's a freaking 10. I mean, it's just Big Daddy is toxic. Actually, Kick-Ass is maybe the least toxic guy in the whole movie in some ways,
possibly.
right?
And yet he's
Right.
still slightly toxic, even though he's the least of it.
Yeah, he pretends to be gay to get the girl. That's just not right. Come on, man.
Now that is toxic.
That's toxic.
Man,
right?
I wish
Yeah.
I was queer so I could get chicks.
Yeah, see, why didn't I think of that before, right? So a great heart to this movie, and yeah, the second one's not as good, but still love the characters, and it's just you don't get writing like this that often today. Sometimes you do, but what a throw! It was so much fun watching this again. I did upload one clip. I don't know if you want to play that later, but I could upload a few clips quickly if you want.
Like
but
one more. We'll just do two, and then we'll.
yeah. Let me just yeah. Let's see. Oh, Human Microwave. That would be. Oh no, let's do Hit Girl Saves the Day. I think that was
Hit
a cool
Girl.
one.
Hit
Girl saves the day. Yeah.
Well, hey, I appreciate the toxic.
I totally forgot. I was having fun during the show, and I forgot. Usually I put clips in. Man, I'm getting freaking old here, and I'm just enjoying it.
You forgot to get it up. It's okay. But hey, you get that second clip. Paulie,
it's nice to see your audience is as gay as ever. We've got Paulie.
Well, for $1.99,
hey,
$1.99 says flagets. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will.
We've got flags.
I'll welcome the grift dollars. That's fine. If that means I have to be called out so I can make money, I will not complain. Okay, bring it, please bring it. So. Tom, give us your toxic score. Maybe Tom wants to go.
What do I think about what now?
Toxic score for Kick-Ass.
I got Red Shirt. I think nailed it. It's got to be at least an 8 or a 9, just because, like I said earlier too, this would not be able to be made the same way a few years later. Even the sequel had some of the edges kind of softened a bit. But that being said, yeah, like definitely one of the more toxic films we've had on the show. So
Yeah.
And you're right. Also, I think Mark said that Kick-Ass is probably the least toxic character in the movie, or was it Mark or Red Shirt that
I
also
said that. Yeah, I said that.
I said one of y'all said it, but like, yeah, to me, it was like, yeah, I agree with that totally. Like, he's like outside of the pretending to be gay thing, which he's egged on by his friends. So like, you know, peer pressure, whatever. But yeah, no, it's overall. I'm glad the movie exists, because if it didn't, it would be a much different film 2-3 years later for sure.
Timing is everything. It truly is. As cliche as that statement is, it is relevant. For me, I'm gonna be the meat between all these dudes' buns, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna be an 8.5. So that way I'm right in between the 8s and the 9s. Okay. Slipping right on in, slip and slide.
I put some lube in there for you.
Up. I mean, God, Hit Girl alone is on another level. Alone, Hit Girl. Her dad, Big Daddy, absolutely bonkers bananas. Dave Lazowski looking at the teacher, going through the napkins, you know, jerking at his computer, pretending to be gay, and then somehow still succeeding. And then the fact that she said, you know, I wish you weren't gay. That line, dude, holy crap, that line would not be allowed to be used today. That line. And also when Hit Girl said, oh, you just got this gay little taser. I was like, oh yeah. Oh man, it's so good. Yeah, 8.5. I love this movie then. I still love it now. It's a shame Matthew Vaughn didn't come back for the sequel. I'm not gonna blame him. I love Matthew Vaughn. He's a great director. Hopefully one day there'll be the one time you could actually have a beneficial reboot, because one, the girl's way too old for Hit Girl, and Aaron Taylor Johnson is way too jacked and much older to play Kick-Ass. So you do gotta have youngsters for those type.
Yeah, because he's small in the comic, isn't he, Nick? If I'm remembering the comic.
He's a lanky kid. He's a lanky kid.
Yeah,
lanky teenager. And Johnson is way older and way too jacked. I'm happy for him, but he ain't it anymore. And in the most complimentary way possible. But
he's Craven the Hunter.
It would be nice if he was Craven in the Spider-Man movie, not Craven in his own.
Well, the year before he made this, he played John Lennon in a film called Nowhere Boy. It's a really good film. Played a young John Lennon. Yeah,
I'm sure it was.
It was good.
Do any of you dudes want to plug anything before we slip out and go to Rumble to watch 2 clips?
Sunday Night Geekery, 10:30 Eastern. Be there.
You heard him. 70s. You got a plug you want to hold, Phil?
Next Monday, my show will be about the Beatles' Revolver album, which is the 60th anniversary of it.
I hear that's a good one.
Relover. Hey, it is a good one. Oh, there you go. He's got a floppy one.
Floopy.
He's got a floopy one. Yeah.
Floopy. All right. Well, what do you think we were
plug
doing?
each other?
Yeah. And Mark is plugging it in the chat too, so that's good.
Yeah.
Check out Midnight's Edge After Dark now with a 2, because the sequel's always bigger, better, and more exciting.
It's made by a different director, though.
Depends. But anyhow, I also have subscriptions on X now where you can watch right now the first episode of Gremlins Hardy's storybook revisionized by me.
Well, jolly good.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Spiffing.
I'm wiggling you.
Send Tom money. Please, sub to Tom.
I gotta pay my electric bill or this shit's not happening.
Right?
All right,
and
chat. Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I was just saying, become a member on Nick Weiser's channel too. If you're not a member, yeah, get your huge membership here. Come on.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Mark. Chat. For those of you who don't transition with us, which I feel bad for you if you don't transition with us, but for those of you that don't, next week we'll be talking Last Action Hero for Toxic Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
So it's once again another long one in the making. Long one. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge. Okay, so we'll see you next week for that. And for those of you who transition with us, this is the link, and I hope you guys come and transition with us. All right, so we're gonna do that and watch 2 clips and slide out. So see, D-Bud's preparing. He knows how to do this.
He's getting ready. Yeah.
So chat, please migrate over with us. That is the link. I'll highlight it once more. But we're out here in 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1. We'll see you next week for Last Action Hero. For the rest of us, see you over on Rumble.
Do it.